ഹലോ ആൻഡ് വെൽക്കം ടു നൈറ്റ് ഔട്ട് ടോക്കീസ്. ഇന്ന് എൻ്റെ കൂടെ ഉള്ളത് 16K സബ്സ്ക്രൈബേഴ്സ് ഉള്ള ഫേസ്ബുക്ക് ഗ്രൂപ്പ് HTൻ്റെ അഡ്മിൻ ആൻഡ് മോഡറേറ്ററായ അഞ്ജലിയാണ്. വെൽക്കം ടു നൈറ്റ് ഔട്ട് ടോക്കീസ്.
Thank you.
ലെറ്റ്സ് ഗോ ബാക്ക് ആദ്യം ടു വേർ ഇറ്റ് ഓൾ സ്റ്റാർട്ടഡ്.
Okay.
What was your childhood like?
I was born and brought up in Chennai.
Okay.
My exposure to Kerala is my parents are Malayalis, of course, but summer holidays ന് വരെ അത്രയൊക്കെ ഉള്ളൂ.
Okay.
സോ കല്യാണം കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ടാണ് ഞാൻ ട്രിവാൻഡ്രത്തേക്ക് വരുന്നതും താമസം ഇവിടെ ആക്കുന്നത്. ഈവൻ നൗ ഐ ടെൽ പീപ്പിൾ അറ്റ് ഹാർട്ട് ഐ എം എ ട്രൂ Madrasi. The rest of me belongs to Trivandrum, but Madras is where my heart is. Childhood was like any normal childhood, filled with everything possible, from books to movies. Both I'm equally crazy about. That was what I spent my time doing, either watching movies or reading.
Okay.
I used to write also.
Okay. And then you did journalism, right?
I did literature for my graduation, and I did journalism, television journalism,
Okay.
for my post graduation.
How was your career like post your college?
I did very little of my career because I got married and shifted to Trivandrum.
Okay.
And I had my children soon after. My husband is a surgeon.
Okay. Yes.
So I was very clear about wanting to be around the kids.
Okay.
So once that started, I started doing multiple part-time stints of different things. I started with public speaking and storytelling, and have moved on to more from there.
Okay. What else did you do?
I did public speaking and storytelling for about 15 years. I used to teach kids
In
and
Trivandrum?
adults in Trivandrum.
Okay.
In Trivandrum. It was called Read Write. I used to teach kids and adults public speaking, and used to do storytelling for kids and adults.
Okay.
Then after one stage, COVID came. Actually, that is when I had to stop. So I shifted to teaching grammar lessons.
Okay.
I did grammar lessons online because I realized public speaking couldn't be that effective online. I was finding it difficult to keep the focus of the children. So I shifted to grammar lessons. And then once my children started getting ready to leave, I started another thing. I shifted to curating gift hampers.
Okay.
So I now curate gift hampers when the first one left. When the second one left, I started magnet making. So I do that also.
Okay. So it all comes under the gift theory.
The gift theory is my gift making business. And then I have Magnoa magnets.
Okay. How did her Trivandrum come around?
Okay, that's a question that's asked a lot. See, I was new to Trivandrum initially, and I was finding it difficult to find things. I have always had themed birthdays for my kids growing up. Every birthday of theirs had a theme. So I used to want to procure the things based on that theme. And that wasn't that easy at that point because I was not aware of this place. I didn't grow up here. So I didn't know where I had to go to get such stuff. So I used to go to try and find out, and I was finding it difficult. Then one fine day I decided, why not start making the cupcakes also for the birthdays. So I posted a question on a Facebook group saying, is there someone in Trivandrum who can teach me how to ice cupcakes?
Okay.
The replies I got to that were really weird. I mean, it's unimaginable how a simple question like that could be treated in any different way.
Okay.
Disgusting replies, replies from bots, it was crazy. It was crazy. I did not find an icing class.
Okay.
I found everything but that. So at that point I thought, why not start a space where I can share, me and other people can share knowledge of what is available in Trivandrum, or where do you get this, or where can you do this, where women can ask without the fear of being misunderstood or getting such replies, because the inbox is full of people who want, like I keep saying, they say friendship, people who want friendship with you. So I thought, why not start a space that was safe, where women didn't have to worry about the friendship factor of it, and could ask what they wanted to and know it would be accepted as that. So that is how I started it in 2018.
That was just before COVID, right?
Yes.
And during COVID, I think it was a huge, it was a solace for most of the women here in Trivandrum. Like, I think all of us went to her Trivandrum for anything and everything, right? So how big was the initial, group when you started?
I started with, like I said, my friends and family, anyone who would have some interest in what was happening in Trivandrum. So I started with, I guess, 10 people, went on to 10, 20, 30, grew from there.
Yeah.
Grew from there. At one point, someone suggested to me, why are you limiting it to Trivandrum? Why not open this out for women all over to interact? And that is when I shifted.
Okay. So ആദ്യമൊക്കെ we came to her Trivandrum കുറേ queries ഒക്കെ ആയിട്ട്. പക്ഷേ ഇപ്പം it's a big community of women who are there for each other. Did you ever think that it was going to
Oh
be
no, never, 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 never in my wildest dreams. If someone had told me something about 17,000
Yeah.
members, I would have thought they were nuts. No, never. Not in my wildest dreams did I see it going here.
When did it change from being like a query, a space to ask your queries, to slowly moving into stories and sharing our experiences?
See, I'm a person who is not very comfortable with small groups, intimate conversations.
Okay.
I'm a little uncomfortable with. So I decided the internet was a place that was nice to talk and not be worried about who's looking, who's watching, and all of it. It is a weird thing because I can speak on stage, give me a mic, and I can speak in front of 1,000 people, but put me in front of 2 people, and then I'm a little worried about what's happening. So the virtual world helped that because I didn't have to be standing there and asking a single person a question. I could have a conversation. I could speak what I wanted to and have their comments. It felt like a conversation. So like you said, it started as a query group, but then no one has a query every day. After a point, I felt there was nothing much happening. So I tried experimenting.
Okay.
Did a few interviews, did a few games, tried experimenting with lots of stuff. And that's when the first time someone asked me a question about mental health is when it struck me that this could be a whole lot more.
What kind of question was that? Do you remember?
It was about a person being abused and she wanted help and she didn't know where to get it.
Okay.
And I think more than the help herself, she was not clear about which way she should go.
Okay.
And she was just looking to rant and also hear some opinions.
Okay.
So that is when everything shifted.
Okay. How did your outlook change post that about the group?
My outlook has changed about everything post this group because like I said, mental health was not discussed too much earlier, especially in a place like Trivandrum. It was not something that you and I sat across a table and said, oh, do you know a psychologist? Are you going for a session? It was not something that was done at that point. Whereas here you could ask those questions. And that's when I realized there was so much I was unaware of. For example, the term narcissistic parents. I didn't know that existed. I was blissfully unaware about something like that until I found out through the group. So the group has broadened my horizons in so many ways, especially now that we have people from all over the world. We have lots of people who are not even Indian. So
How did that come around? Like, I know you have a policy of only adding friends to the group, right? Why did you make that decision?
see, it started becoming more and more difficult to keep it a safe space. The intention was to keep it a safe space. So it started becoming more and more difficult to figure out whether now someone sends me a joining request and says, I'm a friend of Lakshmi. There are umpteen Lakshmis on the group. So how do I know if that's true or not? That is when I said, you bring your friends. So at any point, if there is anything, I can always go back and see who added this person onto the group. So it gives some sense of verification that that's actually a woman.
Were there a lot of men trying to get into the group?
There still are. Even today, I have deleted. Even today, there are still men who read it. I have questions that say, "This is for women. Do you know?" There still are.
Why do you think so?
Some are blissfully unaware. Some, I think, don't bother reading half of it, and they just see Trivandrum or something, her or something, and try. Then there are others. There are some who say, I am not a woman, but I want to join. I get that also. And then there are others who pretend to be women.
Okay. How difficult was it initially when you were managing the, subscribers individually before you took the referrals? How many requests were you getting in a day?
Now I get about 50 a day,
Okay.
ever since it's become reference
Referrals.
based.
Okay.
Earlier it used to be 100, 200 a day,
Okay.
because everyone used to just
Yeah.
click joy.
Yeah.
It has reduced now.
Okay. How do you manage it all on your own?
Okay, that is something that people ask me. Why not take another? Most Facebook groups are managed by multiple moderators or admins. See, my Her Trivandrum is almost like my child. There's a vision I have for it.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a vision. There's a way I see it going. That vision might not be true for anyone except me.
Yeah.
No matter whether it is my mother, my sister, my daughter, my aunts, anyone need not necessarily have the same kind of vision, no matter how close a friend that is. Which is why I decided not to take another moderator. It does get very, very difficult sometimes. It does get very, very difficult. Time management is an issue sometimes. But so far, I enjoy it.
Okay.
Like someone once asked me, do you actually read those posts? I said, yeah, I actually read every single word that goes on it. So you have a lot of time. Yes, I have a lot of time and I like reading.
Has there ever been a point when you thought that maybe I should delegate it to someone else? At least a part of it.
No,
Never?
no, I have never considered delegating it. No. I have considered deleting the group entirely, but I have never considered delegating it.
When you have a group of 100 people, it's still manageable. But 17K people, how have you put a system in place to manage the group? Do you have a system? And I'm sure you do, because then you cannot manage it otherwise. But what is your system?
Okay, there's rules.
Okay.
There's my book of rules, which people say, oh, the principal brought her rules. So I am fondly referred to by multiple nicknames. But I have rules that I tweak them every year.
Yeah.
I go through them and see if they're still relevant. I change them. They have been changed every year and updated. So the rules help everything fall in place. It's either according to the rule or not according to the rule. And I do not make exceptions. I do not make exceptions for anyone, including myself.
Okay.
If I was to make a post on it, I follow those rules.
How did you come to that realization that you need rules to manage it henceforth, or it's not going to work out?
See, initially when I started with rules, I had only women.
Okay.
Okay, so that was the first rule that I had. The second rule was no religion. That was also started no politics. Those three were at the beginning. The fourth one was no Malayalam posts, because I haven't studied in Kerala.
Okay.
So I can read Malayalam, but it's very slow. I cannot possibly read this many posts in that language. So which is why, for my convenience, I brought that rule around. I have been cursed about it so many times, saying you say her Trivandrum and you don't accept Malayalam. No, I can't do it. So it's a limitation that is set itself. Then going forward, it came with, managing a group is all nice and pretty when it goes a particular way. But there's lots that happens on the other side. There's abuse. There's posts that totally blow your mind. You don't want to even read it. There are people tagging you in various things. So at that point, you need to have some way of saying, you can't do this because this is a rule.
Yeah.
So which is why I took every exception and changed it into a rule.
I'm sure there are people who still don't follow the rules.
Oh yes, multiple.
How do you deal with it?
Like I said, you don't follow the rules, your posts get declined. No matter who you are, it gets declined. But I get, even yesterday I got my inbox is full of, what do you think of yourself? You think you are... It goes on. It goes on.
We usually see all the love showered on you. We don't see the other part of it, right?
Correct.
What is the other part like? The like you said, the abuse in the inbox and
It can be, see, like I tell people, it can be sometimes mentally heavy.
yeah,
You know, I don't make a single rupee out of this group.
yeah,
I put in my time, my effort willingly. I'm not, no one has forced me to do it. I'm willingly, happily doing it. But to curse me or shout at me about something I created doesn't feel nice. So I have people saying, "How can you not accept my post? What do you think of yourself?" I spend so much time writing it, all of that. So sometimes it gets to me and I say, "Okay, this is the day I delete this group and I'm done with it."
yeah,
Then sometimes the nicer messages are fewer in my inbox. Like you said, the love shower you see in comments on the group, but in my inbox is more harsh messages.
Okay.
Sometimes there are one or two people who say, okay, something happened, it changed.
okay. But initially, it must have been difficult for you, right? All the abuse landing in your inbox.
It's still difficult for me.
Okay.
It's still difficult for me when I find it too much. I take a day's break. I say, today the group is closed. I take a break. It is still difficult for me on multiple occasions. I'm a person who gets upset. I do get upset by the abuse. But then, like I said, when someone who has posted an anonymous post comes back and tells me to help them,
Okay.
then
It
that
makes
works.
you go back and do it.
Then I know I'm doing something right.
So you have like days for each, like posting your
Yeah.
ads and etc. You have to consciously put in an effort to make it engaging, right?
Correct.
Like asking about what they watched over the weekend, or about photos that you took, etc. So how much effort does it take to come up with these things? Because I mean, when I think about all that you do, it's honestly very exhausting for me. But how do you do it? And that too, like you said, willingly and without getting any monetary benefit from it. What keeps you going? I mean, obviously,
I love it. I just love it. I miss my journalism. I miss writing. I miss all of that. And I always, as an adult, I always wanted to feel that I had made some difference in the world. There's this book by Robin Sharma that says, "Who will cry when you die?"
Yeah.
And that is something that always rings in my ears. Okay, if there is one human being who can say, I couldn't have changed their life, but something, my existing helped them in some way, then that would make a difference.
you know that there are a lot of people whose lives you have touched now already. Where do you see it going?
Like I said, it was not something I saw coming this way. It was not something I saw coming this way. At one point, my aim and goal shifted to being able to help, like I said, all those anonymous posts. That is what it shifted to. The advertisements, the funny posts, all of that aside, that is what I would give priority to. I'm happy to go forward as it is without much abuse. Suits me just fine.
How much of your time in a day do you spend
I
doing?
dare not say that aloud. I dare not even use those numbers aloud. Because sometimes my family knows I'm up in the middle of the night and I'm sitting and checking, oh, what happened, what day. So I dare not even, it's a ridiculous amount of time. It is a ridiculous amount of time.
Have you faced resistance from your family or
Never.
friends?
Never. Never. My family has been extremely understanding about it because they see the joy I get out of
Yeah.
it. It's, see, when you're passionate about something, everyone else can see it. And this is my passion.
Yeah.
So my family sees that. So they know that's what gives me happiness. No, nobody has.
Has your work been affected by the amount of time you spend with HT? Like, have you ever thought, like, okay, I have to, do all this moderation here and I'm not getting enough time for my,
It does affect my work sometimes. It does affect my time with my children sometimes. It does affect outings sometimes, because when you don't see it coming, one post will just explode and then there'll be 300 comments and you're trying to figure out who or what happened and where, which comment are they replying to.
Yeah.
So at times like that, it does happen, but that's a minimal. I try to keep it apart.
Okay. What was your biggest joy from the group?
biggest joy, being able to help someone, and I remember my children coming up to me and saying, someone asked me, are you Anjali Manoj's daughter? That gave me a different sense of high. Because to have an identity for myself, whatever it may be, so I asked my daughter, are you sure they wanted to say something nice? What were they asking about? But having an identity for myself is good for me. I love it. But the fact that I'm actually virtually able to not change lives but help people in some way or the other gives me more joy than anything else.
Has there been any like in these anonymous posts that there were people who were asking for help and you couldn't really help in terms of this abuse and all that, but there's a limit to how much we can help also, right?
Okay, one thing the group has shown me is there is no limit. Okay, when I ask for help, it comes from the strangest places. By the time the anonymous post goes up, besides the comments you see on the post, my inbox is full of people saying, I know so and so, can we do this and this, can we help in some way? So there's always someone who's trying to help. But yes, the limitation comes when, for example, there was a poster who posted something about domestic abuse, and she figured out my number, which is not so difficult to get. And one day she called me and said, help. She's screaming, she's crying, she's sobbing. And she's saying, help, 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 help me some way.
Okay.
I called the cops.
Okay.
The cops came. She said, I didn't call her.
Oh man.
I'm happy in my house. Please go back.
Okay.
So at that point, you feel helpless. Because I know that situation will go back to that.
Yeah.
I know this person has already been through that.
Yeah.
At that point, you feel really helpless.
Do you go back to them, or do you ever wonder what happened post?
I always wonder what happens. Some of them come back to tell me what happened. Some of them don't. The weird part is when you're in a Facebook group, not everyone recognizes my face. Okay, I'm not up there with photos that much, so not everyone recognizes my face. Whereas if I have taken an anonymous post from you, I've actually looked at your profile to see if you're a true person and this could be possible.
Okay.
So I know who is behind every single anonymous post that has come there.
Okay.
So I see you outside. I know you're the one who messaged me about that. They don't know me, but I know them.
Yeah.
So it's weird in that way.
But how do you stop yourself from, asking them or following up about their particular situation?
See, even when they send me an anonymous post, I don't offer advice.
Okay.
I only copy, paste it. I don't offer my personal advice ever. Unless they say, so Anjali, what do you think we should? And then I say what I think. Otherwise, I don't offer them advice. Maximum, if I think I want to say something, I post it as a comment under that. But I step away because the more I start getting involved, it becomes very heavy to handle.
Yeah.
The kind of things people are going to. You realize you're infinitely blessed, and it's very difficult to handle some of that.
Yeah. But how did you learn not to, to create those boundaries and not let yourself worry about all that's coming into your inbox?
I couldn't let that affect my family. I was very sure that I didn't want, like I said, like you said, including the time infringing into my family. I was very sure I didn't want any part of this to infringe into my family. So for that, I had to let that be there and stop it there the minute it's turned off.
Have you had to take mental health help for your mental health because of all that you've been seeing, on the group and otherwise also?
I haven't taken mental health help so far. I don't know, maybe I will need to. But so far I haven't, because like I said, I do not involve myself in it beyond a point.
Okay.
I treat it like a query. I treat it like someone coming to me. Now, if you were to come to me and say, my car has broken down, help me. I treat it like that. I try helping you, I get you as much help as you can. I go crazy trying to figure out who can. Besides the comments coming in, I also try to find out if there's some way we can help them. But I end at that. Otherwise, I would have had a very difficult life with the number of anonymous posts going on.
Has there been any one incident where, like, your group of women rose to the occasion, you know, and you were like felt really proud of the
Oh,
group that you
plenty.
created?
Oh, plenty. Oh, plenty. There have been women who have messaged saying we're all alone. And suddenly a group formed and she's being taken out and looked after. There have been mothers who said, we're sending my child to such and such a place. I don't know the place. I don't know anyone there. There have been women who have made meals and taken it to these children who they don't know from Adam. So, oh yes, plenty, plenty. The group always helps. Like I keep saying, it's a beautiful group. It's not my doing. I'm lucky, I'm blessed. It's a beautiful group with lots of nice souls. I'm sure there'll be good and bad, but the majority is nice. And the majority wants to actually help. So at some points, I even find myself saying, stop, enough. They don't need any help. Don't give them any more help. No, but can we? No, stop. Then that's that.
Have you had to like remove people from the group for any reason?
Oh yes. I never used to.
Okay.
Now I have started doing that. When the abuse gets too much, then I remove them. I tell them I'm removing them and I remove them.
Okay.
That's the only reason I remove.
Does it get very abusive in the comment section?
It gets abusive on private messages, never in the comment section.
Okay. All
They
targeted to
say
you.
they save their abuse for my my eyes only.
Okay.
Comment section once or twice, but
But
I
if-
turn off comments when it gets messy. I turn off comments on the post. So
Do they message each other on the group, and does it get messy there?
it has happened once or twice. It has happened, but then, like people say, then we call the principal and say, "Teacher, she's not with me. That child took my water bottle." So teacher steps in and says, "Don't give it back to her." So that it has happened once or twice, but not all the
Do you
time.
have to look into it? and
Oh yes,
hear each
sometimes,
other.
sometimes I have no, but this is not what she did. No, but that is not what I. She heard it this way. I heard it this way. Yeah, I have had to do that also, but that's a fewer number of times.
How about COVID? How did, what was the emotion within the group during COVID times?
COVID brought isolation to a lot of people. Okay, and Facebook is predominantly for the older generation.
Yeah.
The youngsters prefer Instagram, Snapchat, all of it. But Facebook is predominantly the older generation. So when COVID came and these women are stuck in their houses, not being able to move, talk, see people, meet people, this helped them in a way that they could express themselves right. And like I said, sometimes posts feel like conversations. You can almost hear those people talking.
Yeah.
So, in that way, it worked well for a lot of people who have come back and told me this helped me get through COVID isolation.
And speaking about the each group within the group, do the younger generation seek, admission to the group per se?
I do have a few. I do have I have kept the limit at 20. That I haven't kept a limit, but I think our youngest member is probably 20 or 21.
Okay.
There are fewer of that generation.
How do they interact within the group?
Most of them have joined because their mothers have told them about it.
Okay.
So they're there. Their mothers are also on the group. Some of them have their grandmothers also on the group. So they're usually quiet. They're usually quiet. But the younger generation always reacts to mental health issues first.
Oh, really? Okay.
If you notice, that's when they open up.
Okay.
The rest, they're probably reading or they're ignoring. I don't know. Facebook can be a lot.
Yeah.
For a generation that's used to 1 minute reels, reading an entire post is laborious, time consuming, and as far as most people are concerned, unnecessary.
Do you still get time to read books?
I do get time to read books, though it has gone down in my priority. OTT is my saved the day. Without OTT, I wouldn't have survived anything. So
Also, there are a lot of recommendations coming into the group,
Oh,
right?
yes. Oh,
Do you
yes.
try to watch everything, or is that
if I know some people are watching things that I find nice, I watch out for their recommendations next time because I know those are probably what I like. I do read every single recommendation because it's nice to. That's when you realize there are some things you haven't seen or noticed.
Yeah. It is also a general knowledge group, I'd say, right? You know what is happening in the world
Yeah.
when you just log into
Yeah.
HTN. And there are a lot of people, I think, who started writing because they lost their inhibition, and you're so encouraging about their writing. Like, it was a non-judgmental place where they could open up. Have people talked to you about it, like how they could open up in the group, and how it's a safe space for them to just express themselves?
That has happened. We've had lots of people who have then become authors, who have written their own books,
Yeah.
or who have found recognition, who have found solutions. Yes, but it's not me. It's the group. It's not me.
Which
I'm
you
just,
started.
I'm just,
And
I'm
still
just there.
moderate.
I'm just there. I'm behind the scenes. It's not me. When someone writes and any layperson writes or puts out a form of art or literature or anything like that, and you have 5 people telling you, that's nice, why don't you write some more?
Yeah.
You are inclined to write some more, whether you want to or not. You're thinking, oh no. In fact, I have had people messaging me saying, can you suggest a topic? I want to write some more, but I don't know what to write about. So it's the group. It has nothing to do with me. It's just the group. It's a very encouraging group.
Yeah, it is. How about the recognition you have received? Do you feel like your work is recognized now? I mean, it's a lot of work, and you've done a lot for the women in Trivandrum. And I hope you're getting recognized outside of the group as well. Is that the case, or?
The recognition stays mostly within the group. I do get recognized. Like I said, most people haven't seen my photos, so they're not sure who they're recognizing. Like someone said, "Oh, you are that." I mean, they were expecting something else altogether. But yeah, there is a recognition. My intention is not so much a recognition for myself, as in a recognition to the fact that women can actually support women. It's a grossly misunderstood term. People say, oh, one woman, another woman, third woman, that's it. That's the end of everything. Women are usually jealous of other women. That's not true. That's not true. That's what I'm out to prove. That a sisterhood can stand by you. And this has proved that by far.
You've said that there are many, many times you want to delete the group, right? Have you said that aloud in the group?
I have. At one point, at one point, on one day I did, and somebody said, and then there were lots of comments saying why I shouldn't. And of course, like I said, people who tell me in the inbox, no, it actually helped me make a decision. So, yes, but those days keep coming. So the days it's ridiculous the things they abuse you for. I took a lot of time to write the post. Why don't you just keep the post and post it on the right day?
Okay.
Why don't you change your rules, make new rule? It's ridiculous what I'm shouted at for. And it's not said in such nice terms.
Yeah.
See, it's very simple. I keep telling people, it's a Facebook group. You join voluntarily.
Yeah.
You do not agree with the tone of it. You do not agree with what's going on. Leave.
Yeah.
Leave. No one is forcing you to stay. If you stay, you need to abide by the rules. And if you have an opinion that doesn't sit well, don't state your opinion.
Yeah.
Don't hurt someone.
Yeah.
I get very upset when comments become hurting.
Yeah. What would be the reaction if at all you did?
I'm not so sure about that. It's always ridiculous to imagine that you're great enough to have people want to know you or miss you. I'm not so sure. I think people will just go around with their normal life and say, one Facebook group less to look at. Okay, first day, nothing to look in Facebook. Second day, okay, I'll find some other group. Third day, who was that?
I really think you're underestimating the work you're doing. Like the amount of people you have touched with your group. I think you still don't know the magnitude of what you're doing.
I'm not so sure.
You have seen this group, it's been 7 years or so. I think you can write a book about the changes in society also, right? From how it started, how people were, and how they've reacted over the years, how they've changed over the years, even to the fact that the kids these days are responding to mental. Have you thought about it, like recording what you've seen over the years?
I have never thought about writing a book with relation to the group because I hold too many people's secrets.
Yeah.
I can't afford to give that away even in a slip. So many thousands of people have trusted me with their secrets. So I cannot afford to give that away with a slip. And if I was to actually write something about the group, it would have to involve something at some point to make sense. Which is why I have written a children's book.
Yeah.
So I write, but this I won't. This I won't.
How do you hold so many secrets? Is there a point when you feel that it's too much, I'm holding too
No,
much?
I haven't. So far, I haven't reached that point. Like I told you, I disassociate myself from it. I'm involved as much as I'm on the group, and I'm trying to help. When that's over, that's over. I do see the people later and wonder, are they doing okay? If I see them outside in the real world, or if I see Facebook updates,
Yeah.
and I do wonder if they're okay, but I let myself get involved only then. Otherwise, the burden will be too much to carry.
Yeah. Who keeps your secrets?
The whole family. I have different secrets with different people. If I have to talk about my brother, it has to be with my mother. If I have to talk about my husband, it has to be. So everyone has their own share of my secrets. But yeah, everyone does hold some of my secrets. But I'm not a very secretive person. I'm not. What you see is what you get.
How about support? Like, where do you find support from? For this as well as everything in your life?
I have a very supportive family. I have a very supportive family. But even members in the group who I have never known, probably never even met, and might never meet ever again, have supported me at various points. Have supported me at various points. Like I said, somebody comes on too strong in a comment, and someone else notices it and messages me and says, "Don't get worried. She's just being herself. Ignore her.
Okay.
That's not true. That's not right." So there is support through the group. The group works its own ways.
Thank you so much for coming to my show. I hope someday you will understand the magnitude of what you are doing. And I hope you get recognized for it as well, because it's massive, the amount of, I mean, like, I think about it sometimes, I'm like, how do you do all this? But I hope you never have to press the delete button ever, because it's a safe space for so many people, you know.
Thank you.
you so
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you.
Thank you.